You know, I have a feeling that this was not the first time that Zacchaeus was observing Jesus from a distance. I think he had been spying on Jesus prior to that, probably listening to his teachings, but always from a distance, from a vantage point where he could see him and hear him without being seen and without being heard himself. Maybe Zacchaeus had heard Jesus' challenge being addressed to him during those times. You know how it is with the Word of God. It has the power to change people's lives. You remember that passage in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12. That passage that says, the Word of God is living and effective, sharper than any two-edged sword, penetrating even the soul and the spirit, joints and marrow, and able to discern reflections and the thoughts of the heart. Isn't that beautiful? I have heard many stories of people who were not serious about their faith until one day the Word of God hit them even as they kept a safe distance. Meron nga akong alam. Well, kinuwento niya, he was just attending a funeral mass. And he did not even want to sit in one of the pews. He just stood at the very back of the church. But the sound system of the church was good. And you know, he felt drawn to listen to every word. Every word. In fact, parang feeling daw niya, para bang siyang kausap ng pare. He felt like the priest was addressing every word of his homily to him personally. Our first reading today, for example, contains words that are like the two-edged sword described by the letter to the Hebrews. It says, you think you're alive, but in truth, you are dead. You think you are rich, but in truth, you are so poor and wretched. You are neither hot nor cold. Why don't you buy from me the real gold that will make you rich? Rich spiritually. The real clothes that will cover your nakedness. Or the real ointment that will open your eyes and make you see. And it ends with the line, the one whom I love, I discipline. The one whom I love, I discipline. These words of John in the book of Revelations are timeless. I imagine how Jesus said words like these, words that caught the attention of a tax collector like Zacchaeus from a distance. I imagine Zacchaeus wanting to come close to Jesus, but always holding back because he did not feel worthy. And so, he got the surprise of his life when one day, aba si Jesus mismo. It was Jesus himself who took the initiative and drew near to him. Zacchaeus may have thought he would not be seen, kaya siya umakyat sa sycamore tree. He may have thought he would not be seen from up there, where he had positioned himself. But Jesus, who was passing by, stopped. Huminto ba naman siya right in front of the sycamore tree. And he looked up at Zacchaeus and even invited Zacchaeus to come down and to have dinner at his house. It means Jesus had been aware of the presence of Zacchaeus from a distance all the time. Pero hindi alam ni Zacchaeus. He was not aware. He did not know that Jesus knew. Actually, another way of putting, come down, Zacchaeus, is, come near me, Zacchaeus. Lumapit ka, Zacchaeus. You want to be my friend? I want it more than you actually do. That was enough to change the life of this man, Zacchaeus. That was his chance to become truly alive, not dead, truly rich, not wretched. And he did not think twice anymore when he heard Jesus, as it were, knocking at the door. And all that Jesus was asking of him was to open up. And that was all that it took to change this man's life's direction and to fulfill his heart's desire, his heart's deepest desire. And he went for it. I know that some of those whom Jesus wants to visit are still keeping a safe distance. Some of them have not stopped watching online because Jesus' word may have pierced their souls many, many times. Inevitably, the time comes when Jesus comes and draws near, when he will come knocking at your door. And when the time comes, please, do not hesitate. Open up. It might be the very first day of the rest of your life.